Chicago Med Season 10, Episode 12, entitled In the Wake, paves the way for its best romantic couple to finally get together. There were several great pair-ups in the 2025 One Chicago crossover, but Chicago Med didn't have any romance during the special event before returning to business as usual in Season 10's In the Wake. This episode deals primarily with staff shortages and a massive influx of patients after the closure of the Jackson Monroe Hospital. However, two major characters take steps toward ending their current romances. Throughout In the Wake, Chicago Med's Dean Archer, Steven Weber, debates whether he should work things out with his ex-girlfriend, Margot Bethlack. The two again butt heads when Archer realizes that Margot recently covered up a client's relapse into drug use to protect her future. Although the two come to an understanding, Margot declines to accept Archer's offer to grab drinks. Meanwhile, Chicago Med's Hannah and Mitch, Jesse Schramm and Luke Mitchell, run into serious trouble. To deal with his friend's death, Mitch has been getting drinks with mutual friends every night and coming to work hungover. Hannah and Archer are Chicago Med's best romantic pairing despite not being together. The two have both chemistry and camaraderie despite a rocky start. Steven Weber as Dr. Dean Archer being pushed by Jesse Schramm as Dr. Hannah Asher in Chicago Med Season 9. Hannah and Archer have grown from adversaries to close friends, which is a perfect recipe for a primetime television drama. While Chicago Med's Archer initially hated Hannah so much that he opposed the hospital rehiring her after she completed her rehab, the two now offer each other the perfect blend of support and tough love. They are not afraid to call each other out on their BS, generally respect each other, and fight for each other's well-being whenever the need arises. So far, their relationship has been platonic, despite Archer's son, Sean, Luigi Sotilli, getting jealous because he thought his father was moving romantically toward Sean's secret crush. However, Hannah and Archer's scenes are far more interesting than either character's current pairing. Hannah has been aggravated with Mitch since the two got together because he constantly shuts her out and gets mad when she tries to stop him from being self-destructive. Archer and Margot's relationship is also full of conflict, as they have never seen eye to eye on the work Margot does or how she treated Sean when he worked for her. Chicago Med Season 10, Episode 12 begins setting up Hannah and Archer's potential romance. With both of their primary relationships falling apart, the two will likely turn to each other. Chicago Med Season 10, Episode 12 takes the first step toward Hannah and Archer becoming a couple by ruining both of their current relationships. Archer's relationship with Margot had been over for a while, so there is no real reason to bring her back other than to cut off any possibility that the two would reconcile. Archer's angst throughout the episode could have led to a reconciliation. The two finally clear the air after he's ghosted her for months, so if the Chicago Med writers intended to put Archer and Margot back together, this would be the perfect way to do it rather than get back together. Archer and Margot part on friendly terms, with Margot having no interest in exploring anything further with Archer. At the same time, Hannah and Mitch's relationship appears to be imploding because of Mitch's potential alcohol abuse problem. Mitch is constantly drinking, to the point where he's hungover, and when she calls him on it, he claims she's projecting her issues onto him. This ugly argument may be the beginning of the end of their relationship. Hannah's commitment to sobriety will preclude her being with him unless and until he admits his alcohol use following Sully's death is problematic. Why now is the right time for a Hannah and Archer romance? Chicago Med desperately needs more romance. Archer and Asher arguing over something in a hospital room in Chicago Med. The One Chicago crossover underscored the severe lack of romance in Chicago Med. While Chicago Fire's Severide and Mooch both worried about their significant other's fates and Chicago PD's Burgess feared her fiancé could die, no Chicago Med characters faced such a catastrophic possibility. This imbalance was because the only couple Chicago Med currently has is Hannah and Mitch, and their relationship is so bland that it's hard to care about it. Chicago Med hasn't had a strong couple in a long time. Natalie and Will were a focal point for the first several seasons, eventually growing into a love triangle involving Crockett. None of those characters are in the show anymore and Chicago Med Season 10 hasn't found a suitable replacement. Allowing Hannah and Archer to explore their feelings would fix Chicago Med's issue when it comes to romance and give the audience a couple worth rooting for. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for our weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series.